Hey guys, Canfo.com is officially live now. Go get your official Canfo merch. The first 50 orders will be shipped within 24 hours, so make sure to be one of the first 50. Don't worry, the rest of the orders will be shipped very quickly as well. We wanted to focus on quality, so we worked really hard on this. Go to Canfo.com today to get your order.
Our next guest is South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, a Donald Trump supporter who gave candid and courageous testimony about her own experience as a rape victim weeks before launching her run for Congress in 2019.
From some of us who've been raped, it can take 25 years to get up the courage and talk about being a victim of rape. And the first thing that happens when a woman comes out in public and says she's been raped, what is the first thing out of someone's mouth? Is that it didn't happen. This is why women do not come forward. They are afraid.
Congresswoman, thanks for joining us this morning. And you've endorsed Donald Trump for president. Judges and two separate juries.
I'm trying to figure out why was that her intro, though?
No, you gotta let it ride. You gotta let it ride.
I know. Liable for rape and for defaming the victim of that rape. How do you square your endorsement of Donald Trump with the testimony we just saw?
Well, I will tell you, I was raped at the age of 16. And any rape victim will tell you, I've lived for 30 years with an incredible amount of shame over being raped. I didn't come forward because of that judgment and shame that I felt. And it's a shame that you will never feel, George. And I'm not going to sit here on your show and be asked a question meant to shame me about another potential rape victim. I'm not gonna do that.
It's actually not about shaming you. It's a question about Donald Trump.
No, you are shaming me.
You've endorsed Donald Trump for president.
Right.
Donald Trump has been found liable for rape by a jury. Donald Trump has been found liable for defaming the victim of that rape by a jury. It's been affirmed by a judge.
It was not a criminal court case, number one. Number two, I live with shame. And you're asking me a question about my political choices, trying to shame me as a rape victim, and I find it disgusting. And quite frankly, E. Jean Carroll's comments when she did get the judgment, joking about what she was going to buy.
That is fair.
It makes it harder for women to come forward when they make a mockery out of rape, when they joke about it.
Doesn't it make it harder for women to come forward?
She did do that.
It makes it harder when other women joke about it, and she's joked about it. I find it offensive. And I also find it offensive that you're trying to shame me with this question.
I'm not trying to shame
you.
You
are.
I
have dealt with this
trying to shame her with that question.
It is crazy. Like when you hear her point of view, it's like the other girl, once she won, she was happy, celebrating, telling people what she finna do with the bread. Why would I celebrate that? You know what I'm saying? People's glorify that because she got raped and she made all that money. You don't remember that woman that...
No, I don't remember her case. That's why I didn't really...
You never heard about that woman that made all that money?
Off of getting raped?
Yeah, from Trump.
Whoa.
E. Jean Carroll.
You never seen that?
They paid her $90 million.
Yeah, it's right there. You never seen that? She been on all platforms bragging about it.
Yeah, talking about she going on vacation.
Yeah, she finna do all that.
Wild.
That's why she's hot. That's why this girl hot. Because she's like, if you really a victim, why would I... You know,
Yeah, that's insane.
And now she's like, why this dude?
Too. Yeah,
She's
that
like,
makes sense.
she's like, why this dude gonna bring up? He's like, why are you supporting Trump and you're supposed to be a rape victim?
Okay, yeah.
Makes it harder when other women joke about it, and she's joked about it. I find it offensive. And I also find it offensive that you're trying to shame me with this question.
I'm not trying to shame
you
you
at
all. In fact,
I have dealt with this for 30 years. You know how hard it was to tell my story 5 years ago when they were doing a fetal heartbeat bill and there were no exceptions for rape, incest, or rape or incest in there? I had to tell my story because no other woman was coming forward. No rape victims were represented. And you're trying to shame me this morning.
I'm just asking.
And I find it offensive, and this is why women won't come forward.
Women won't come forward because they're defamed by those who perpetrate rape. Donald Trump
they are judged and they're shamed, and you're trying to shame me this morning. I think it's disgusting.
I'm not shaming you at all.
I told my story. It took me 25 years to tell my story. I was judged for it. I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it. You're shaming me for my political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
It was not a criminal court.
It wasn't proven.
This was a civil court. It was a civil court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money, and I find that offensive.
I'm asking you
but
about
as
the man
a rape victim who's been shamed for years now because of her rape, you're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive. As a woman, I find it offensive.
I'm
For my
asking-
political choices, I've endorsed the man that I believe is best for our country. It's not Joe Biden. And you looked at the dueling rallies yesterday in Georgia. Laken Riley's family was with Donald Trump. They weren't with Joe Biden. The same guy yesterday that apologized for calling her killer an illegal, who was an illegal. And here you are trying to shame a rape victim. I find it disgusting.
I mean, you keep saying I'm shaming you. There's
You
nothing
are.
I
The
can do.
question
he tried to
is,
shame her with that
it is.
question.
How is the question asking you about a presidential candidate who's
You're
been
asking a
found?
rape
Pause.
victim.
He asked her, so if you've been raped, why are you endorsing this guy who just got
Charged for rape.
Charged for rape if you've been raped. That's literally what he just asked her.
He is like playing on her top.
Boy,
pretty
no,
much.
he's definitely, nah. You know
No,
he
people
ain't.
is putting it on the same level as he got Don Lemon.
Yeah,
Bro,
he's-
she's cooking.
Yeah,
People say he's gonna lose his job.
he should.
How is the question asking you about a presidential candidate who's
You're
been
asking a
found?
rape victim.
And there's no question about that. And
You're
you've
questioning my
courageously
political
talked
choices
about
because
that.
I've been raped. I think that's disgusting.
No, I'm questioning your political choices because you're
You're shaming
supporting
me. You're trying
someone
to
who's been
shame
found
me.
liable for rape. Actually, I'm not trying to
You
shame
are.
you.
That's exactly
You're not
what
answering
you're
the
doing.
question.
And I think it's disgusting.
Well, you're welcome to say that, but you also have to answer the question. Why are you supporting someone who's been found liable for rape?
I just answered your question.
What is the answer?
He was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was sexual abuse. It wasn't actually rape, by the way. And E. Jean Carroll joked about all the money she's going to get and made a mockery out of this case. And I think that's offensive. There's a reason why women don't come forward. And when you have someone who says that they're raped and they make a mockery out of this civil court judgment, it's offensive to other women. It makes it harder for other women to come forward when another woman has made a mockery of it.
You said women don't come forward because they are afraid. They are afraid
They're
because
judged
they're defamed
and shamed,
by those
like you're trying to shame me this morning.
They are afraid to come forward, as you said, because they are defamed by those who commit the rape. That's what Donald
And
Trump
they're
has been found
judged.
guilty of doing.
He defended himself
found guilty,
over that and denies that it ever happened. But he was not found guilty in a criminal court of law. It was a
So
civil
is that the
judgment over
distinction you're
sexual
making?
abuse.
A civil judgment is okay, but a criminal judgment
This
is
is
not?
different, and they didn't even input all of the evidence into the civil case either, because some of the information she provided wasn't even accurate or correct. But to sit here and ask me as a rape victim to try to shame me for my political choices is wrong,
exactly
and I
what
think
he's
it's
trying to
offensive.
do.
And I mean,
You can repeat that again and again and
And
again
I'm going
and again
to
and again,
because
and
I
I've done
find it
nothing to shame
deeply
you.
That's what you
offensive.
did, buddy.
You don't find it offensive that Donald Trump has been found liable for rape?
I find it offensive as a rape victim that you're trying to shame
He
me
asked
for
him
my
the same
political
question.
choices. And I've said again repeatedly, E. Jean Carroll has made a mockery out of rape by joking about
she
it. I
cooked
don't
him.
find that funny.
Well,
Rape is not funny.
You've made it
Rape
perfectly
is
clear.
serious.
You've made it perfectly clear. You're
Rape
comfortable.
is serious.
It is
it's
serious.
not funny, and it shouldn't be made a mockery of. But
It
if you
is-
want to defend a woman who made a mockery out of rape, then you go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that.
Well, actually, what
You
you're
thought that
doing,
question was really
She
gonna get her
could.
this
I ain't
morning
gonna
too.
lie,
That's
she
what's
could.
crazy. That's what's insane. He had this question prepared. He's all.
He was practicing it in the mirror.
He thought
putting
he
his
thought
tie
he
on.
cooked. He thought he cooked.
I
He
ain't gonna lie,
got
he got
cooked.
cooked.
Man,
I
whatever
know,
happens
he
in
got
the
cooked.
dark comes to the light, buddy.
Man, it's crazy, bro.
And it shouldn't be made a mockery of. But
It
if you
is-
want to defend a woman who made a mockery out of rape, then you go ahead and do that. I'm not going to do that.
well, actually, what you're doing is defending a man who's been found liable for rape. I don't know.
He tried to flip the
Not in a
script.
criminal court of law. This was a civil judgment over sexual abuse, not rape, by the way, and she made a mockery out of it.
Can we
So
pull up
which
the
one are you
Washington
going
Post
to?
headline right there? In fact, it has been shown to be rape. The judge affirmed that it was in fact rape. Donald Trump
That's so
was found
biased.
to have committed rape. That's just a fact.
That is
Washington
a
Post.
civil
Donald
judgment,
Trump.
not a criminal court.
What a
They're two
wife.
very different things, and you know better.
Well,
one
I just showed you
reflects
the
about
facts.
being
You know
raped.
better.
You show that you're
Man
very
just said a
comfortable
Washington
with what
Post
Donald
And
Trump
what you've
has
done
done.
is
fact.
offensive to women who've been raped. What you've done this morning is offensive.
We'll let the viewers decide about that. Let's talk about January
Yeah,
6th.
yes,
You
we
just
will.
been sworn into Congress on
tweet.
January 6th. You voted to certify the election, and you said Donald Trump must be held accountable for the violence right after the riot. Let's show that.
We've got to hold not only the president accountable and ensure that he doesn't hold office again in the future, but also we need to hold members of our Congress, even in my own party, accountable for the rhetoric and the actions that led up to Wednesday's events.
You said he should never hold office again, so why are you supporting his run for president?
Well, I listened to my voters. I listened to my voters in South Carolina, and they've moved beyond January 6th. I said my piece on January 6th. I was I was very clear about how I felt about it. And I also, as you stated, I voted to certify the Electoral College for every single state in the country. But something's happened between now and then, and that was Joe Biden. And I listened to my voters. They move on. They don't ask me about January 6th. Maybe that's what you in the media, you guys talk about in your cocktail parties. But voters are not talking about it. They asked me about February 22nd, the day that Laken Riley was murdered by an illegal immigrant. They asked me about October 8th, the day that Maddie Hines, a South Carolina girl, 4-year-old girl, murdered by an illegal immigrant who was deported under Donald Trump and allowed back in under Joe Biden's administration.
Wow.
They're talking about the over 8 million illegals who've come across our southern border in an invasion of our country and an actual threat to democracy.
Why everybody
allowing
keep
that to
avoiding
happen.
that?
That's what they talk about.
Not talking about January 6th doesn't mean it didn't happen. You were very clear right there. You
I was very clear. I just said
he
that.
should never hold office again because of what happened on January 6th, because of what he did.
I'm sorry, but brother,
She did
we were
answer the
just
question.
talking about the illegal immigrants.
Let it
That
ride,
situation. And then he flipped.
And you know what's crazy? I
Like
can
that
see why
situation-
she responded like that.
Like, hold on, though. He just disregarded that situation like that didn't matter.
Bro,
He had
he's
no
trying.
sympathy for that.
He's
He's trying to keep the focus
bro,
on
he's
January 6th. You said, remember in that
he's-
video? You
he-
remember?
I don't like. I
That's
don't,
what
I
he's
don't know
trying
who
to
this
do.
guy is, but
Comparing
he
January
sucks.
6th to 2 innocent lives being lost. Innocent life was lost there, but like.
But it was on the side of the ones who they would consider the oppressors in that situation.
You know what's crazy though? I can see why she probably thought that because you know when it first happened, they made all the videos look so violent.
they did.
It looked
They did.
so like
They're good
I
at
thought it
this.
was something crazy going on for real.
they're
Then when I
really
see
good at this.
all the footage together, just like
Bad. Yeah, let's keep
what
continuing.
really happened, man.
Right there. You
I was
said he
very
should-
clear. I just
you
said
said he
that.
should never hold office again because of what happened on January 6th, because of what he did on January 6th. You said he should be held accountable. How has he been held accountable?
Well,
How are you holding him accountable?
Voters held him accountable through our Republican primaries this year. He's won overwhelmingly. America supports him. They're not looking back. They're looking forward. Since January 6th, we've had 3 years of Joe Biden. The American people do not like or support it. You've seen the polling. You cited the polling in your show today showing that Trump is beating Joe Biden on all of the critical issues that the American people care about, talking about immigration, the border, inflation, etc. He's very strong on those issues, stronger than Joe Biden. And I listen to my voters. I talk to South Carolinians every single day, and they support Donald Trump. He's going to win our state overwhelmingly in November.
How have you held Donald Trump accountable for what he did on January 6th?
The American people hold him
that shit.
accountable
Oh
through
my
the ballot
gosh.
box, just as they will hold Joe Biden accountable in November at the ballot box.
And
That's
you will
where it's been
continue
done.
to support him even if he's convicted of a felony?
Well, here's the thing. You know, the court cases, the lawsuits, that has nothing to do with you or me, it doesn't affect the American people. The chaos that Joe Biden has created by having a
Wow.
wide open border
Now that
affects
is a good
every
point.
single American. We saw it affect Laken Riley's family on February 22nd. We've seen it affect Maddie Hines' family in South Carolina. We've seen the violence right here in New York, in Times Square, where illegal immigrants beat up 2 New York Police Department cops. These things affect fentanyl crisis affects everybody. 10 years ago, I couldn't tell you what fentanyl was. Today, last year, I knew 2 people personally who died of fentanyl overdoses. So
I
the
know a lot of
chaos
people
that Joe
too.
Biden has created over the last 3 years has made Americans rethink who they want to have president. And we have 2 back-to-back presidencies to compare. They've both been president, and the American people, I believe, right now are overwhelmingly choosing Donald Trump, regardless of how you feel.
So you've been very clear. You're comfortable with Donald Trump being found liable for rape, and you're comfortable with his actions on January 6th.
I didn't say I
He a
was
hoe.
comfortable with it. You're putting words into my mouth.
You
Let's
wouldn't
beat him
condemn
up,
it.
bro.
You're putting words into my
kinda
mouth.
make it
Are
on
you
TV.
comfortable with it?
I support Donald Trump for president.
So you're
I just
comfortable with
endorsed
it?
him a few weeks ago
Even though he's been found liable for rape?
in a civil judgment, not a criminal court case. But you go ahead and keep shaming women who've been raped. Good luck with that.
Man.
She could.
Oh my God.
Lit his ass up.
Representative Mace.
Back
we
to
rocking
their
with shit.
homelands.
No, actually, that was Don
South-
Lemon level.
South Carolina got some powerful women, man,
Nah,
out
she
of that
absolutely-
state.
Hey, look,
Yeah, they
that's-
do,
That's
boy.
all that matters.
They
what the
do.
people
They really
says.
do.
Like, why come on here and say all this about me? He really just started off the gate just terrible.
He
did.
Like, he
Facts.
brought up trauma off the gate.
You were raped,
Compare
huh?
that to-
Hey, weren't you raped? How you feel
Like,
about Trump?
what?
You was raped and you like a rapist? What type of person are you?
You're a bad person, right? That makes you a bad person, doesn't it?
You like rapists.
Oh, okay.
Joy Reid is way better than him in doing her job.
Oof.
Joy Reid would at least, she would have said some crazy ass shit.
Make it sound smooth.
He did it really bad.
It's just because he's a square.
Yeah, he a
His
square.
is terribly. He had it on his hands, so What?
You're not going to answer the question?
Was probably the worst beatdown I've ever seen. At least, Don Lemon was pretty bad. That has to be top 2.
Don Lemons was horrible. He said, hold on, man. I don't want to hear it, man. Hold on, listen.
That was less of a... They were more debating. This was more like just pure just...
Nah, Don Lemon got cooked, bro.
No, that's what I'm saying. Bro. No, Don Lemon got cooked worse is what I'm saying.
Don Lemon
this one was bad.
He looks dumber. Don Lemon dumber.
He got red.
Took his mic out. He got upset at the people who were on his own team. And Vivek was just sitting up there.
He turned light skin to red.
But this shows you, bro, they are literally just, that's all they're up there to do is push the agenda, because only thing that matters is what the people says. So like he's asking her a question, but the people have already made a decision.
Yeah, no, fact. She cooked him.
So all they're trying to do is get more people on their side by pushing this agenda, because the people are making the decision. At the end of the day, everybody's seeing the vote count.
They absolutely cooked him. She absolutely cooked him. They want Joe Biden to win so bad. FJB, let's go, Brandon. Joe Biden, suck a fat one.
It's really crazy how they really use emotion to like control a mass of people. Like
people are stupid enough to let it control them.
Like that shit is insane, man. They gonna play with your feelings, man. This is like,
and the fact that Twitter used to literally be censored one way
makes it even worse.
That shows that they try to program your mind with the media. It's literal evidence.
Well, Nancy Mace, you got our support, man. That was a great video. We're out here. You cooked them bad.